I've done the East, now it's time for the West. It's almost NBA Finals time, and for these two teams, there is only one more series before they get there, the Conference Finals. So, in today's video, I'll be taking a look at the matchup for the Golden State Warriors, the Portland Trailblazers, and predicting the series, the team's strengths and weaknesses, the player who needs to step up, the key to success, every little detail. If you guys enjoyed the video and want to see more, subscribe for more NBA content. But with that being said, let's take a look at this conference finals matchup. The Golden State Warriors are coming off a huge series victory over the Houston Rockets. They proved how good they really are, even without Durant, as Curry and Clay, Iguodala and the bench all lifted in Game 6 and showed that they can still compete for an NBA championship and be a legit threat, even without their best player. Never underestimate the heart of a champion, and the Warriors will look to continue that success for the rest of these playoffs. The Portland Trailblazers are coming off a couple of intense opening rounds. In the first round, they beat the Thunder on an insane buzzer beater by Damian Lillard, and they took that momentum into the second round where they versed the Denver Nuggets. This series went down to the wire, but in a tight Game 7, the experience of McCollum and Damian Lillard mattered the most, and now they are through to the Western Conference Finals, where they'll hope to pull off something incredible against the reigning champs. But what are the strengths and weaknesses for each team? Let's start with the Golden State Warriors. Shooting. Let's start with the obvious one. The Warriors are just phenomenal at shooting. With players like Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson, as well as legendary scorers like Durant, when this team heats up, it's almost impossible to cool them down. Depth/starting lineup. Though DeMarcus Cousins is out of the lineup for the remainder of the season, and it's unclear whether KD will be back for Game 1 at this point, the Warriors are still stacked, and they showed their worth in Game 6 versus the Houston Rockets. And don't forget players like Iguodala and their bench, who dropped 33 points together in Game 6. Their starting lineup is consistent of 4 All-Stars, and there's always at least 2 or 3 of them on the court at one time, and we've seen how unstoppable they can be these playoffs. But what are some weaknesses for Golden State? Inconsistency. At first, I thought it would only happen in the LA Clippers series, but the Warriors stars were again inconsistent versus the Rockets. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson had some good moments in Game 6, but earlier on in the series, they were shooting extremely poorly, and that will be costly if they continue to do it this late in the playoffs. But that's all for the Warriors. How about the Blazers? The strengths for the Blazers are scoring. The Blazers are loaded in scoring options, and we didn't really know this until last series. When Damian Lillard was cold, McCollum stood up big time and secured the series for the Blazers. But when he was icy, we saw role players like Harkless and namely Rodney Hood, who played a huge role in getting the job done in Game 6 and that 4 overtime battle. The Blazers should be confident this series even if a star goes cold, because we've seen how well the role players are maximizing their minutes when given the opportunity. Rebounding. The Blazers are one of the best rebounding teams in the NBA. They rank 8th in defensive boards a game and 2nd in offensive rebounds per game. This will be extremely important against a team like the Golden State Warriors. But like any other team, Portland has some weaknesses. Center position. With Nurkic out, the Blazers are now extremely weak at the center position. Kanter is hurt, and though Zach Collins is somewhat decent, he tends to get in foul trouble, and that makes it hard to utilize him consistently. You never know whether he'll foul out or not. Portland are thanking their lucky stars that Cousins is out, because if he's there, there's no way the Blazers are winning this series. Kevin Durant. A big question for the Blazers for this series is who's guarding Kevin Durant? Harkless, Collins, Rodney Hood? If they can't find someone that will minimize the impact of KD, this series will be over quicker than we think. As we know, if a player plays bad in a series, it could cost their team it all. So, who's been playing poorly and needs to step it up from each team? For the Warriors, it's the Splash Bros. They were not playing well at all against the Rockets until Game 5 and 6 for Clay, and it took Curry an entire series minus 1 quarter for him to find himself. If they continue to shoot poorly, we might see the Blazers stand a chance for a brief moment, just like the Rockets did. For the Trailblazers, there's no debate that it's Lillard. After a fantastic series versus OKC, he really played poorly versus the Nuggets. He could just not shoot. If it wasn't for McCollum, they could easily be out of this scenario, but luckily, he clutched up. Damian Lillard needs to show up this series. He needs to play like he played versus the Thunder. They don't stand a chance otherwise. So what is the key to success for each team? For the Warriors, it's making sure the All-Stars get going. Again, I'm not 100% if KD will be back for Game 1, though I'm pretty confident he will be. If he's not there, Klay and Curry must lift like they did in Game 6. The Blazers will be easier than the Rockets, but they can't slack for a moment because Lillard will make you pay. So it's as simple as that. Get KD going, get Curry going, get everyone involved. That's how their team works best. We saw it in Game 6 versus the Rockets, and if they bring that heat against Portland, I don't see how they lose this series. For Portland, it comes down to defense. If they can minimize the impact of KD and Curry and Klay, they could pull this off. It will take a lot and perhaps a bit of luck, but if Curry and Klay again struggle and Durant is rusty from his injury, then you never know. We've seen bigger upsets. But now for my final prediction. In my honest opinion, I'm taking the Warriors in 4. It's a sweep. I just think that Klay and Curry have got their mojo back after Game 6 and will be too hard to stop. And Durant will most likely be back too, and the Blazers have no one to stop him in my eyes. If KD plays poorly in a game, then maybe I can see the Blazers taking one game, but there's no way they are winning this. Sorry Blazers fans, but this is where the road ends. And for Warriors fans, if all goes well, you guys should be making your way to your 5th straight NBA Finals. But what do you guys think about this? Who do you have winning this series? Golden State or Portland? And in how many games? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop it a like and subscribe. But with that being said, I am out. Peace.